Hello, and welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church, or Church McGurch, depending on where you know me from. And welcome to Madman Reviews. And the game today will be Aloft. Now, this is another kind of in the style of a sandboxy survival, but it's more of a Viking-esque Animal Crossing in the sky. I was going to say in space, but it's definitely not in space. The whole kind of premise is you're floating around in the air and you're hopping from basically from island to island, purifying them or just kind of seeing what resources you can gather. And you can see this is my home island. It's nighttime. You can hear lizard. Yeah, there's the lizard. That little guy. Lizard. So there's insects, small animals, as you saw the lizard. Got a bunch of them right here. The yellow kind. Little places you can store them. Different terrain. Different places that you can force them to spawn. Like here's these frogs, there's a green, orange, blue. If you put down one of these, eventually they'll spawn on the lily pads, so you can get 1, 2, 3, 4. I put this down a while ago, but I haven't seemed to been able to get them to spawn on it. I don't know if it's a bug, I don't know if it's glitched. And then you also have little mises. I believe these are jerboas. So kangaroo rats. There's another lizard. So I don't actually know how long this game's been out. But oh, you can also see the insects. So there's butterflies. There's like these blue beetles. There's ladybugs and earthworms. All different kinds of butterflies, moths. Moths come out at night. You can see it's nighttime, so now we have all these moths that I could catch. Bats. There's a couple different kinds of bats that spawn at night on trees. And then during the day, obviously, birds will spawn on trees. Butterflies will spawn during the day. There's another bat. Different kinds of trees. Got some fir, some oak. There's the Leviathan. That's kind of the end boss. I went up there and cured him. And then I tried... Somebody said you could kind of take it over, and then I went to do it, and it said, no, you can't take it over. Because the whole thing is on these islands, you can come in and take one over, and essentially pilot it like a ship. The Leviathan just kind of roams around in a one spot. Here's your map. Map kind of tells you where you've been and what you've done. So all these green, the green kind of circly thing that looks like a door. This is like main story objectives. The green dots are just normal islands. The funny kind of green with a swirl means that there's a secret item there, or secret chests. You can see I've been pretty much around the map, gotten some places. I missed like an island or two, because sometimes an island is just this little rinky-dinky rock in the air. So that one's yellow, and it says there's something missing, but I bet if I were to hit that island, it would like clear up and just correct itself, which is a known bug, like this one here. If I was to go and land on that and look at it, it'd be like, nope, this is actually 100%. So I have beaten the game as it stands. Beating the game consists of freeing the Leviathan, which is basically a giant turtle. A giant floating long turtle. So other than the trees, you have like your oaks, your firs. I don't know if I planted any chestnut. But we also have some red oak. Some aspen, and I believe I planted some of the Kaya trees. But they haven't really been, yeah. They haven't really grown yet. Because it does take several days per tick to get them to grow. Let's see if we have, do I have any on me? No. There's a bat hanging there. So there's four technically, different kinds of animals you can get. You can get chickens, which very odd looking chickens, but you know, kind of more like a chicken duck. They will consistently drop feathers and eggs without being fed. It slows down drastically when they're hungry. So you can put a bunch of feed in the trough and it'll keep them producing pretty much on point. You have goats, which goats, when you feed them, the female goats you can milk. Also, they'll drop manure. Of course, obviously, what is manure for in any game other than being thrown at people? Another trough. There's a ladybug. Another jerboa. I've only seen two different. I've seen like a tan and a black and white jerboa. There's usually three or four different kinds. Yeah, there's a green lizard. And then I believe the other lizards are purple. Plant growing. So you got some flax growing. And then the other thing you can get is you can get llamas and alpacas. Or technically llamas and sheeps. I think they call them alpacas, but they're definitely sheep. Gather up all the manure. Ooh, you can pick them up. Didn't mean to pick you up. And one of the nice things they did in this one is that when, say, you find these all on islands in the different biomes, and the nice thing they did about this is, say, you know, here's the alpaca or llama. Doesn't really tell you. Nice thing is you can put these little landing pads down. See, I have mine just named sheep llama. And when I'm on an island, I can feed one. So let's do a pet. I have hay. Why don't? Because you're not hungry. Maybe you're not hungry. Maybe they're not hungry. But you feed one on the island, and then it gives you the option to harvest it, which you can see the red. I don't have the item to harvest them, but it allows you to pick them up. And then holding E, I can send it home, which will teleport it to the landing pad. It's a good distance, 5, maybe 600 something meters. And it'll boop right to there, and I don't have to carry it. I don't have to build a bridge. There is an option where you could build like a bridge to get from place to place. Some bees. So all the butterflies. There's a bird that just spawned. But yeah, you can build a bridge and go from island to island with basically a little floating kind of bridge to carry you across so that you don't have to teleport. Because some islands will require animals to cure them. And when you do that, I just found it easier to break one of my landing pads, take it, drop it there, and then just teleport an animal to it. Fire with an add-on. This game also has add-ons, which I always love when games do that. You can kind of cook over the fire normally, but you put this add-on in, and it allows you to actually cook multiple foods to make meals. You have granaries to hold all your different foods, seeds, all your different kinds of food. Come here, click on it. You can see it pulls from the chest. And then you click this, shows you all the recipes you've learned and the recipes you can make. So if it's blacked out like that, or faded out, not blacked out, you don't have the ingredients. So if I just say, like, I want some, I don't know, I want some fried eggs. Boom. And then I hold F. You don't want it to go into the red, so it's like a half mini game. And just try not to keep it in the red. Till the little bar fills up. I have some eggs. Voila. As you can see, I have lots of eggs. Eat it. And boom. It does the same thing as a lot of other games do. It increases your health bar. It gives you buffs. Different foods give you different buffs. Different drinks do different things. Like that one just gave me a good health buff. We can go over here to my conditions. Just tells me I'm at home. Positive conditions durations doubled. So basically anything I have is doubled while I'm here. Any kind of food buffs. All your different things you need. I've never seen those before. What the heck? I haven't seen an enemy that looks like that. I mean, they look all plain and funky. Funky. Tool upgrades, leap attack, / building. Your home kite. Basically, this is just an explanation of everything. Teleport, how you can get to and from your home pretty quickly, and then your shared homes. So this is a multiplayer game. So if I were to open this to online, other people could bring their islands, or they could take one of my islands and make it their home. And then we could jump between the shared homes. And if I like allowed somebody to, they could come to my private home and look around and use my stuff and craft and make other things. Again, pulls everything from chests and from storage piles. This is kind of how you learn things and craft at the same time. Tells you what tools you have, trinkets and other little things you can craft, concoctions, materials, weapons. Ooh, I'm in a heat area. So there's weather, like there's super downpour, which will cause you not be able to fly. And then there's super heat, which if you're in it, it's going to cause you to start taking heat exhaustion, which will eventually kill you. Bed to pass the night and give you a buff. And then your normal chests. You can go through all the different things. These are all things that don't really have a stockpile yet, or don't go into specific areas. Your gear isn't too important, but does play a little bit in it. That's why I still have the leaf apron. And the leg wraps is because these protect me from rain, whereas the current gear I'm wearing, I don't know if I can... Yeah, the current gear I'm wearing protects me from the heat. So during these heat waves, there's my glider, different weapons, pretty much gathering tools or weapons. Book, bug net, hammer for repairing, sketchbook. So basically the sketchbook is how you learn. So this is how you learn recipes, like this stuff. The sketchbook is how you learn things like these, like your building, all your building recipes, a lot of your crafting stations, a lot more of your different crafting stations. And if you see the little plus, it means they're down here at the bottom right. You have different variations of what you can craft. So you don't always just have to have this single one. You can change it around. All the different kinds of sails, the different kinds of bugs, places to keep bugs, grow plants, the different chests. Like there's two different kinds of chests. You can have the wooden chest or you can have the stone chest. All the different stock piles, like you can use these to stockpile animals or bugs, stockpile different ingredients. This one's the stockpile for dyes, obviously. Your spinning wheel, your loom. This is where you make your gear. You can see you can make the ragged pants and shirt, which really doesn't do anything. But you can also select it. Select and then change the color. So you do get a little bit of customization here, which I haven't really messed with. This is your research. This is kind of the main game kind of thing, where you get this Micteer, and you use it to basically research a cure, which then you go use the cure to take care of the Leviathan. Obviously a pottery wheel. Storage. So far I haven't found any other ways to make a different glider. As you can see, this might be a community thing. My only choice is leaf. I don't really have. But then you can customize, you can change the color. This is another thing I really haven't messed with. But, you know, just to show you guys, I can do my colors. And it'll take 3, 1, and some sap. I don't have any. I was trying to grow those so that I could start getting that sap. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go find it. And then there's another trails. I think that's another thing that's a community thing or something you have to buy or something they haven't implemented. And as you can see, I can craft it. Or I can go to mine, like shape. Yeah. This is your refinement station. You build like a base block and then you put the stuff around it, and which is a really cool kind of like you're upgrading it. So you start with a coating station. Eventually you can get a customization station, which allows you to put trinkets on your tools, and then a sharpening allows you to sharpen. Boom. The tool now has a temporary buff. I can now go here, select like maybe the coating, apply coating, select tool, apply coating. I don't have any on me, which is sucks. That it requires me to have it on me. Boom, I can take this antidote. It's applied. Put that back. I've got a bunch of manure. Put that in there. There's a pottery shelf. Your leaf cloth, wool cloth, linen cloth. Saw that. And you look at my sword. It's sharp. It's got an antidote and it has a sky spirit trinket on it. So you can see that's a symbol. Sharp. Has a coating applied to it. Has a trinket. If I pull it out, the blade kind of has an edge to it. It's like rainbowy, oily, slick. The only thing is you can't really see any trinket on it, which kind of sucks. Little dots are basically how many trinkets. I believe these can get up to 2, and you kind of craft them, and as you craft them, there's a chance of getting a dot, or as you find them in the world, there's a chance of getting 2 dots, so you can just keep crafting them over and over again, and hopefully you get a 2-dotter. And then you can put 2 trinkets on there, and then the sharpness is temporary, and so is the antidote. So eventually, after so much use, those 2 things go away, but the trinket never does. Here's your stockpiles. And when they look full, they look completely different than when they don't. I have no idea why I pulled out a torch. Terracotta, beehive, you know, for that honey. Another area with some bats. Bats are still weird because when you go to put them down, it's not like they fixed it. It's not like the bugs, where bugs used to be on the ground, but then they fixed it so when you put a bug down, it now flies. Where if you put a bat down, it actually goes under the ground. And you kind of have to like look around and be like, where is it? Where is it? There's a purple lizard. So you've seen green, purple, yellow. The other thing is if you're not sure, there's rock piles, leaf and small plant pot, like leaf. Small plant. Terracotta, planks, wool, fleck. Ooh. Different kinds of rope. Bone. It also holds feathers. I guess feather, kind of like a bone. Your kiln. And your antidote crafters. Little blue beetle. Ooh, starting to rain. And then the kind of the fungus stuff you find. Charcoal. Charcoal's needed to sketch out things. There's your food if you had any. Like I got feathers here. I should probably go. Boom, quick drop. All that goes in there. They added it to chest too now, that when you quick drop to a chest, it'll actually only pull from your inventory what's already in here. So here's the like Emerald Isles, wild seeds. These basically just do plants, your oak, your fir, your chestnut, ash, another chestnut, red oak. This is your Fallen Heights, basically a different biome. Red Cliffs, basically a different biome of just your small plants. And then the lone Acacia tree, which I planted a bunch of these, but I'm not sure. They haven't really grown in yet. This is where you get the Acacia sap, which I need a bunch of. Different feed for your animals. Paper, because you have to have paper to sketch with. Seeds, keys to open up lost chests that you can find throughout the world. And then this is basically how you plant mushrooms. There's a sketchbook. Here's the other thing I haven't shown yet is the field guide. I was waiting on that one. Go through all this, and then I'll get to the field guide. There's another purple lizard. I saw that green lizard over there. I know everybody's showing you. Yellow. A map here. This tells you this is a desert area. This could be either, if you kind of hover. As soon as you discover it, it'll tell you what kind of area it is. Like this is Emerald Isles. This is a tracker you can make, and then you sacrifice small amounts of stuff, and it'll guide you to whatever. Like obviously, this is how you get to the Leviathan. Take your wheel, gives you the different up, down, moving, left, right. Over on the right hand side is basically where you're at. So you got to be above the white line. You have to have everything above the white line to move. So if the island, it shows basically with how much weight I have on the island, that's where I need my green, my yellow, and my blue to be to move the island. The island can hold a full bar of weight because it's a larger island. Smaller islands can't hold that much weight unless they've changed that. This is just a light source. I thought they were cool. Different kinds of sails. Honestly, I don't need all these sails, but so this area here, this is a barrier that you have to go through, and all these rocks come at you. Each time a rock hits you, it breaks one of your sails. So the more sails you have, the more likely you are to keep moving while you're trying to repair these sails. Because if all your sails break, you stop, and the wind pushes you back, so you lose all progression. Okay. This is a spear / hoe, so you can kind of see it. So that was nice that they did that. There he is, Leviathan. Looks like a giant snake turtle. It's kind of cool. I really wanted to make it my base. But that was kind of smart of them to make it both a weapon, and if you look at like a spot, you can either remove or add turf. And then if you go to like a farming plot, you can till it to make it ready to farm. Bow, pick, axe, scythe. Let's skip that for right now. Bug net, that, of course, the torch. There's really no improvement to it, you just have a torch. And of course, your field guide. Your field guide basically tells you everything that's on an island. So if you go to an island and land on it, you can pull this up and it's like, oh, it's missing this, this, and this, and then you go get all those things, and then the island becomes a 100% healthy ecosystem. As you can see, I'm definitely well above everything I need. There's almost 37 out of 0 animals. So this also kind of helps you keep track of what animals you have. All my flora, all my birds / small animals. So animals only affect the area that they're in. So you can see the ones that have green around them, they actually affect my current zone, which this is the Emerald Isles. And then all the other ones, they can be here and they can spawn here, but they don't contribute to the ecosystem's diversity. So they can spawn, but they don't contribute. That's why they have the little exclamation mark, and it says right there, wrong biome. So it also gives you a little panel here to tell you, like, what's wrong, why can't you find it, is it the time of day, is it hidden, is it nesting, missing habitat. And you can go somewhere, put it down, and then as soon as the nesting period's done, you can just pick it up. So you don't ever have to lose something if you don't want to lose something. Same thing with the bugs, same exact thing. You can see the earthworm, the bee, the ladybug, the butterflies, the moths. They all contribute. The top ones in green all contribute, all the other ones don't contribute, but they can still spawn here. So that way if I go to, say, a Fallen Heights, I can go grab one of these guys that's from the Fallen Heights, and then just put it out there. And that way I'm not, like, trying to grab like 100 of them just in case I need 100 of them. And that's it. It says I have 1 decomposer diversity, which is basically the mushrooms. So if I go over here, select that on my hotbar, 7, walk over, plant seeds. I now have mushrooms growing on my trees. Now I'm 1 out of 0, so it means I don't honestly need this. But this is also a way to grow the mushrooms for not only food, but to make more of this stuff. So I'm not too, adverse to throwing some of this stuff out here. Just in the off chance that I want some mushrooms. Or I need mushrooms later. I have a ton. I mean, they weren't that hard to get. This game doesn't have that kind of... In the beginning, some stuff is super hard to get, but after that, everything becomes pretty plentiful. There's no stamina, so you can pretty much glide forever. There are parts that will actually cause you to fall, which you eventually will fall to your death, and just respawn back here at home. There's no gear dropped on death. There's no run stamina. There's no attack stamina. What you have instead is you have this bar, and the more you hit it in the yellow, the more combos you do until you do a finisher, and then it stops your momentum. It's the same thing with everything. And with these tools, with like, say, the pick or the axe, or even the hammer, the final one will actually do an AoE. Exploring my island a little bit. The combat is against these mushroom things. Here's like these things. You can grow these mushrooms to get samples. I just put it up here just to have it out of the way. And then on the islands you can find these little tributes. This is where I put... See, there's another kind of jerboa right there. Brown tan one that I was talking about. You can find these little tributes. There's a book here. You can get some paper. This is where you can get... I set down my home island. Like I was saying, you can also teleport. So if somebody else was here with their home island, I could teleport to there. I could put mine away. You can only have one personal home island out at once. If you trust someone, you can have them come to there. I can teleport to it, or I can have these ones. Say I want to go to this one. Teleport. Do. Boom. So I mainly use these since this is a single player. I've mainly just put these down as places to have things spawn, like my bugs, my butterflies, moths, birds, lizards, frogs, all the different little things. I even have some sheep on here in case I need some sheep. There's a frog. That's another nice thing about trees, is once the trees get old enough, they'll start to spawn more trees. So you'll see these little saplings spawn kind of close to another tree. But you could build, a friend could build here, and then join you on your personal, and you guys could go out exploring. Let's see, there's a moth, or butterfly, one of the two. Pull up my field guide. Boom, here we go. There's the little hidden thing, meaning those birds aren't spawning, or bats aren't spawning. There's my moths, butterflies. And just a different look to the island. You have normal sheep, some black sheep. I really haven't seen the animals breed, which I'm kind of glad, because that could get out of control really quickly if you're not paying attention. And there's no way to slaughter them. As it's kind of funny that this is a Viking game, but there's no meat. Pretty much everything you eat is vegetables. So, you know, take it out for what you will. You have a bunch of sky pirate Vikings and no meat at all. Or cows. You can milk the goats. I mean, that's the main thing the goats are for, is you can use the milk from the goats to make recipes. Like you saw, there was 2 recipes that required it, and they also use it to make antidotes. But you can find all the animals on islands as either babies or full-grown adults, and then you just kind of feed them and pet them, and eventually they become adults. So I didn't grab... You can have 3 islands. I made one for Emerald Isles. I made one for the Fallen Heights. But I still haven't grabbed a desert one yet. Because I made the mistake of... You can see nice, beautiful autumn. That's why I called it my autumn home. Blue frogs. Let's see, what else do I have here? 1 alpaca. Some birds, the purple lizards. All the different things. And there are multiple bugs, like bees, ladybugs, earthworms. They go everywhere. They're basically in all habitat. And I believe the firefly is just here. So you can see the firefly is still nesting. Stuff like that doesn't really happen unless you're in the same zone. So I probably put it down and took off, and now it's still kind of like, oh yeah, no. Now it's got to get into its nesting period. I don't know if this one has a cave or not. But there's also, these islands also have cave systems, and that's typically where you'll find bats. And you'll also find other treasures. You might find somebody's abandoned place down here, and that's another thing. You can find abandoned civilizations like this. abandoned other players' forts. And eventually, usually there's like a key or a chest. You find glass. You find other stones. You find chests. And sometimes there's just some really cool shit that you... like really cool designs. Really cool just looking... everything. I like the way this looks. So I made this one of my shared homes. In case like ever somebody wants to play and check it out, I can just open this up. Because I can change this from single player to multiplayer with a click of a button. Then somebody can check it out and they're like, oh man, I really need this, but I'm all out or I don't have one. They can just come here, grab a purple lizard and go. These weren't that hard to find. It just, you know, sometimes they don't spawn, or they don't like to spawn, or they take forever to spawn. And if they share spawns, you know, you pick one up and you hope you get a green or you get a purple. There's a tree you can just gather. So we'll go back home. I always forget what button it is. You can also put away your home, which this is a smart thing to do, and this is the thing I really suggest if you're just playing and you're watching this review and you're like, I really like the look of this game, I think I'm going to try it. The biggest tip, if there's anything you're going to take from this review, set your shared homes in the different biomes. So you start here, basically here. And you can explore and you can go this way and it takes you, and then it tells you, okay, now it's time to go across. You have to go across this barrier, which I was saying before, the rocks. Make one of your shared homes in this ring. Then make one of your shared homes in this middle ring. And then pick a shared home somewhere else, maybe on the other side of the map. Might as well just zoom out. Pick like a shared home over here in one of the desert areas. As you can see, these are all desert areas. Because you can't get here yet, this isn't early access. All this, kind of the blacked out areas are places you can't get during early access. Pick one of these spots up here across the map to be your third shared home. Because you can put your home island away. And then teleport to one of your shared, and then spawn your home island in. So I could teleport over here, put my home island away, spawn my home island back, and I've just surpassed the struggle. Oops. I've just surpassed the struggle of then having to go through this. You still have to go through it the first time. You still have to do it one time. But like, both my home islands are in this ring here. They're like within a parcel of each other. So if I want to get anywhere in this ring, I have to go through the stones again for a second, third, fourth, fifth time. So biggest thing, take a home island here, take on a home island here, and take a home island over here. Or not a home island, a shared island in those three areas. Put your home island away, teleport to one of them, put your home island away, and then pop it out. And you don't have to ever go through that hassle again of going through all the stones, of going through these barriers here. That is my biggest, like, helpful tip that I could give you. My next one is probably going to be in this area, just so that I can teleport back here and I can get to the Leviathan, because the Leviathan doesn't, as far as I understand, it does not leave this area, this parcel here. So if I ever want to come back to the Leviathan just to check it out or just to show someone, it's always here. The other two cool new features before I wrap this up is when you do multiplayer, your home island goes with you to your friends or someone else's server. So if some of your friend is like, oh man, I'm really having a trouble here, you can join their server and then spawn your island in and just have them come grab something, or you can be the one piloting it while they just kind of hang out on your island. So your private home islands are linked to your character. The other cool thing, we'll save and go back to menu, is if you're not filing an island you like, you can't find one that fits your multiplayer, fits your style. You can come to the island creator, create your own personal island to your liking, and then use it in the game, use it in a friend's game, just use it anywhere. It's not like and then if you really like it and you think other people might like it, you can share it on Steam. Or if you aren't good like me at creating, as you could see, my structure was a very big square with some stairs and all my shit just kind of everywhere. You can go to the community, find someone else's island that you like, check it out, and then spawn it into your world, give it a good, one over, and then you like it, keep it, use it, fly around with it. If you don't, open. You can download their file, open it in here, create your own. That's my always go-to Midgard. And if you don't like it, delete it. Make your own. I've thought about it since I kind of want an island that's decent size with a cave, but also water. The only problem with the island I have right now is it's a big size. Like, this is a massive island, probably the biggest you can get. But this is where the cave is supposed to be. As you can see, it didn't get a cave. And I've already been around my entire island. There's no water. So I'd love an island this size, this kind of look, but with a cave and with some water. Because you do need dirty water to craft things. You do need dirty water to turn into clean water. And you do need it for watering your crops. Rain works. It'll rain and water the crops, but there's no rain collector. There's no anything of that sort. So you just kind of have to fly to an island and hope. Let's see if I can real quick. Oh, I forgot about these. These are more crafting stations. Decomposter, sawmill, breaker, grinder, dye creator. The reason I have these out here is because you can make windmills, and these windmills will automate. As you can see, these windmills will automate the process. You can see there's a little thing. As you put something in here, you press F and it'll quick time it so that you can get stuff faster. But if you had a windmill out, which you see windmills, if you had a windmill out, I'll do it automatically for you. Last but not least, is there anything close by? Just to show up a little bit. So this is, you can boost, you have momentum, food will give you more momentum, but it speeds you up while you're trying to fly. As you can see, there's no stamina bar, it's just you lose your momentum. Down here, you can see a corrupted island, a little bit of lag. You'd find these corrupted islands. You can see there's stuff down there I could loot. There's the big thing I need to kill. See some stuff down there spawning. Sometimes they have, yep. I don't want to mess with that yet. And usually those ones you'll have to save the island from the corruption, and then it'll require you to fix the island with some, you know, ecosystem, some trees, some small things. Sometimes these islands will be normal and they'll still require an ecosystem repair. This one looks like it's normal, and of course the way you can check is you just go to your field guide to look. Oh, yep. Oh, boom. Oh, I might not have that butterfly or moth, and I need to go grab it. Just wait, go get one. To make this quicker, I'm just going to teleport back. Because I've shown 2 of the biomes, the autumn biome and the emerald biome, green and the red and yellow biome. And I believe these are the desert. The tricky thing about the desert biome is that it adds an element of the desert. So you, even with the heat protection, it just gives you a little bit more time. But as soon as you get too hot, which requires you to drink water, and if you stay too long without drinking water, you become parched, which slows you down immensely. So you can see a biome. This is the desert biome. Pretty decent. Like, this game has done really good at diversifying the different biomes. The first 2, kind of not so much. This book is bugged. That should be laying down, not up like that. Grab it, get some paper. There's some hard stone. These things here, these are how you learn recipes without the sketchbook. I don't have any wood to build my way up there, so I'm gonna do this the hard way. Slow myself down. Boom. I don't want to lie down. There we go. Boom. I now know clay rounded frame. So here's some goats. Give them... That's a white goat. I don't know if I have one. Pick it up. Send it home. I am close enough. I forgot to rename this to goat. Let's see. Does it require animal diversity? Or animals? No. So I could take this one. Send it home. If I wanted to, I could take all 3 if I wanted to. But I don't really need goats. It's really only the male goat, or the female goats. Ooh, that's what I need, right there. You see, I just got the parched debuff, meaning I'm going to be super slow. I can get rid of it by becoming wet. Wet makes you slower while gliding, but it gets rid of the parched and prevents you from becoming parched. Or you can get a really massive buff by drinking water. Clean water specifically, because dirty water will actually give you a little debuff. So I did that. That gave me a different kind of wood, dark wood. There's 2 different. There's normal wood and dark wood. These other little things like these here get me potatoes. And that's how you'd also get potato seeds. Obviously, potatoes don't have seeds. This is a nice island. I actually might take this as my shared home. I'm going to check all the other islands first, but I like this island. It has water here for the frogs. There's some bone. That's another thing the desert gets you, is you can get bones. You can also get clay, or not technically clay, but terracotta. You can get these trees, where these trees, as soon as they hit a certain time, they'll start spawning the sap. And salt. salt pretty much spawns everywhere, but only in caves normally on other islands. Whereas the desert, salt kind of just forms everywhere. I don't know how they justified that in their heads, but, you know, a lot of countries don't have deserts. So I'm going to teleport home. And that's where I'm going to end this review. Sorry, this was a lot longer review than normal. But this is a massive game when it comes to like a survival-ish game on its kind of caliber, and it's still pretty new in its infancy. And there's a lot of distance in this game to cover. But that is where I'm going to end it. So, if you like this game, try it out. Really fun. I put 30, 40 something hours into it. And I didn't even build. Like, there are some islands that have some really cool designs on them, building-wise, that I have a hut. It works. But, you know, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you made it all the way through. I appreciate you. And until the next time, you be you, you stay you, and most importantly, adventure on.